what that email said. They said, "It has come to BIG3's attention that Miss DeMita was posting on her social media platforms during this past weekend's BIG3 games and promoting the competing New York Liberty vs. Indiana Fever WNBA game that was being broadcast at the same time. The league is extremely dismayed and disappointed by Miss DeMita's severe lapse in judgment while performing services for the league, during which time she should have reasonably known that she should have been promoting only league games."
Recent social media buzz has centered around the dismissal of a sports broadcaster from the BIG3 basketball league. The circumstances surrounding this termination have generated significant online discussion and speculation about the underlying reasons. The termination occurred abruptly when the broadcaster's representatives received notification via email at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday evening. The communication contained an official letter outlining the grounds for immediate contract termination.
First full NBA game I've watched since 2019. In 2020, the NBA lost their minds, jumped face first into social issues, and black and white sports covered that. And they lost about 60% of their viewership after John and me were, vocal, let's call it, okay? Vocal. LeBron definitely knows who black and white sports.
According to the league's statement, the organization discovered that the broadcaster had utilized social media platforms during BIG3 game broadcasts to promote a competing WNBA matchup between the New York Liberty and Indiana Fever that aired simultaneously. The league expressed significant disappointment regarding what they characterized as a serious error in professional judgment. The official correspondence emphasized that the broadcaster had received exclusive access and prominent positioning during national television coverage. League management indicated their surprise upon learning about social media activity promoting rival league content while contractual services were being rendered.
The league provided her with unique access and opportunity to be a focal point on national broadcasts, so management was completely taken aback to learn that she was posting about another league's games while in the midst of rendering services. Now, this is true. I did send out 3 tweets about the Indiana Fever versus New York Liberty game during the BIG3 broadcast, and again, you guys, I want to be completely transparent. I will show you the exact tweets that were posted during that time.
The social media activity in question consisted of 3 specific posts during the competing broadcast time frame. The content included a highlight reel featuring a 3-point shot by Caitlin Clark, with commentary addressing skeptics, a repost of Nike basketball content, and celebration of the Indiana Fever's victory. Additional posts about the WNBA game occurred after the BIG3 broadcast concluded. Documentation shows the broadcaster had begun the day with promotional content supporting the BIG3 league and CBS Sports coverage. However, the subsequent posts about the competing basketball game became the focal point of the league's concern.
So anyway, nonetheless, this is the headline. This is Front Office Sports. Number one, this young lady right here, she ain't going to have a problem. All right. 362,000 subscribers. She's rocking it. Okay. She's rocking it. She's getting plenty of views. So right off the bat, she's not fitting to starve. All right.
The broadcaster acknowledged the social media activity but expressed surprise at the severity of the response. No preliminary discussions or warnings preceded the termination decision. The individual had anticipated that such matters could be resolved through dialogue rather than immediate dismissal. Historical context reveals that during the previous season, games were broadcast on different platforms where active social media engagement was encouraged and expected. This created an environment where periodic mobile device usage during broadcasts was considered standard practice across various networks. Professional performance during the terminated period included successful interview conducting and comprehensive sideline reporting. The broadcaster maintained focus on assigned duties while managing social media presence, believing the work quality met established standards from the previous season.
Firstly, to start the day, I tweeted a selfie and I said, "Let's work," and I tagged the BIG3 and CBS Sports. And then I tweeted this highlight 3-pointer of Caitlin Clark, and it said, "For those who question the hype," and that was a tweet that directly came from me. And then I retweeted a Nike basketball tweet, and then I also retweeted when the Indiana Fever won the game. I did continue to tweet about that game, but it was after the BIG3 broadcast. I did feel a little bummed that there wasn't any
Contract negotiations were ongoing at the time of termination, with legal representatives still finalizing details. The broadcaster had participated in league activities including the draft process and opening weekend games based on good faith expectations that contractual arrangements would be completed that week. The unexpected nature of the dismissal caught all parties involved off guard. No previous employment terminations had occurred in the broadcaster's professional history, making this situation particularly unprecedented. The league's response suggests strict policies regarding promotional activities during broadcast periods, particularly concerning competing sports content. The organization appears to prioritize exclusive promotional focus during their programming windows.
She just got full independence. All right, and I don't know, maybe she's had it before, I don't know, but you know, that's something that me and John Matrix, we covet a great deal, because he's going to say what he wants to say. I'm going to say what I want to say. They ain't no leagues. They ain't no players. None of that agenda bullshit. I don't care if they like it or not. There ain't a thing they can do about it. Ain't a thing. They can't stop us from giving opinions. And
industry observers have speculated about additional factors contributing to the termination, but available information indicates the social media activity represents the sole documented reason for the employment action. No alternative explanations have been provided or substantiated. The incident highlights potential conflicts between personal social media expression and professional broadcasting obligations. The situation demonstrates how rapidly changing media landscapes can create unexpected professional challenges for sports broadcasters managing multiple platform presence. The terminated broadcaster expressed well wishes toward the Big 3 organization despite the circumstances. The response emphasized acceptance of consequences while maintaining that the social media activity was not intended to cause harm or create competitive conflicts.
Discussion prior to me being fired. However, I didn't hear from anybody. There was no talks about it. And I wasn't under the impression that those tweets would do any severe harm to the Big 3 or anybody would think any type of way about it. So like I said, again, I'm not making excuses. I'll take it on the chin. It's my bad. I apologize for that. But I do wish that there could have been some sort of discussion, because I feel like something like this could have been easily nipped in the bud. And part of my job.
This situation reflects broader industry discussions about social media protocols for sports media professionals. The balance between personal expression and professional obligations continues evolving as broadcasting and social media platforms become increasingly interconnected. The timing of competing broadcasts creates challenging scenarios for sports media personalities who may have interests spanning multiple leagues and competitions. Clear communication regarding expectations and boundaries appears essential for preventing similar conflict.
So I saw this. I think and I got to tell you, folks, I managed for a long time in the corporate world, about 12 years, I guess. And even my corporate management side thinks that this feels like an overreaction. Popular basketball influencer Rachel DeMita's time with Ice Cube's Big 3 basketball league has come to an end. The, quote, final straw has led to the part.
Moving forward, the incident serves as a case study for sports broadcasting professionals regarding social media conduct during active employment periods. The consequences demonstrate potential career impacts of seemingly minor promotional activities during sensitive broadcast windows. The Big 3 League's position establishes precedent for strict enforcement of promotional exclusivity during their programming. Other broadcasters working with the organization will likely receive enhanced guidance regarding acceptable social media practices during game coverage. The resolution of this matter through immediate termination rather than progressive discipline indicates the league's prioritization of promotional control. This approach suggests limited tolerance for activities that could potentially redirect audience attention toward competing content.
With the Big 3 last season, the games were on X, and so I was really active on X like during those games because the chat was going and I was getting involved with all of those things. So it's very common for us, honestly, across all networks to be on your phone every once in a while. I wasn't watching the game during the Big 3 games. I was locked in. I was catching my interviews. I was doing my sideline reporting. Like, I felt like I did a great job there, and I felt like I did a pretty good job during season 1 when I was with.
Industry professionals may use this incident to evaluate their own social media strategies and contractual obligations. The situation emphasizes the importance of understanding promotional expectations and potential conflicts before they arise during active broadcasting assignments. The basketball influencer community was recently shaken when news broke about Rachel DeMita's sudden exit from Ice Cube's Big 3 basketball league. The circumstances surrounding her departure have raised eyebrows across the sports media landscape. DeMita, who served as a sideline reporter for the league, allegedly found herself in hot water after posting content about Caitlin Clark during a live Big 3 event. According to Front Office Sports, this social media activity became the decisive factor that ended her association with the organization. The specific post in question simply stated, "Those who question the hype," referring to Clark's basketball prowess.
When DeMita was tweeting about Caitlin Clark highlights this past Saturday during a game in which she was working as a courtside correspondent for Big 3, sources told Front Office Sports. Now, that did not say she was actually watching the game. Those highlights just come across X, all right? And considering she's a content creator and she's in the sports world, you would think she would probably have her phone on.
The timing proved particularly problematic since DeMita was actively working courtside coverage when these highlights appeared on her social media feed. Industry observers note that such posts typically require minimal time to compose and share, making the league's response seem disproportionate to many. A Big 3 representative refused to provide details, citing standard policy regarding personnel decisions. DeMita's representation was similarly unavailable for immediate comment on the matter. This incident appears especially puzzling given the league's previous enthusiasm for Clark's talent. Ice Cube's organization had extended a substantial offer to the basketball star, reportedly a 2-year contract worth $10 million. The Big Three's aggressive pursuit of Clark demonstrated their recognition of her marketability and star power, making the sensitivity around any Clark-related content somewhat contradictory.
Them as well. But from my understanding, that is the only reason why my contract was terminated, why I was fired from the Big 3. And I'm seeing a lot of people speculating that there had to have been something else. At least from my side, I know of nothing else as to the reason why I was fired. That was the reason. You heard what I said in that email. From their side, I'm not sure, but that's all I can give to you guys. That's the truth. That's from my side. I also just wanted to point out, I hadn't signed a contract yet for this season. My agent was still.
The league's viewership numbers provide context for their protective stance. Throughout 2024, the Big 3 maintained an average audience of 455,000 viewers over 10 weeks. During periods without Olympic competition interference, this figure climbed to 512,000 viewers. These numbers occasionally surpass WNBA viewership, highlighting the competitive landscape both leagues navigate. DeMita's substantial digital presence suggests this setback won't derail her career trajectory. Her platforms boast impressive followings: 2078,000 on X, 4052,000 on TikTok, 1 million on Instagram, and 362,000 YouTube subscribers. This established audience provides a solid foundation for whatever direction her career takes next.
Open, just to make sure that she knows exactly what the hell's going on. A Big 3 spokesperson declined to comment, saying that the league does not comment on personnel matters. DeMita's agent could not be immediately reached. So, this is supposedly said tweet right here. All right, and all she said was, "Those who question the hype." So evidently, this tweet, which probably took not more than 20 seconds to put together.
The former 2K TV host's departure raises questions about social media boundaries for league employees during active competition. While organizations naturally want focused attention during events, the instantaneous nature of modern social platforms creates gray areas regarding acceptable online behavior. Some speculation emerged about whether Clark's previous rejection of the Big Three's offer influenced the league's reaction to DeMita's post. However, Ice Cube's public statements about the declined contract have shown no apparent resentment toward Clark or her representative. His discussions of the situation have remained professional and understanding.
In talks to make sure just everything was settled out, and we were just working in good faith. And so I did the Big 3 draft, and then I also did weekend 1 of the Big 3, assuming that we were going to finish all of my contract things that week. So I was a bit blindsided. I can't even lie. Like, I was not expecting to be fired. I was not expecting to be fired for that reason. But at the same time, like, we take it on the chin, we move on. I have never been fired from anything in my
The basketball entertainment industry continues evolving as traditional boundaries between leagues, media personalities, and social platforms become increasingly blurred. DeMita's situation exemplifies these challenges as organizations attempt to balance employee autonomy with brand control. This controversy highlights broader tensions within basketball media as various leagues compete for attention and talent. The Big Three's rapid response suggests heightened sensitivity around any content that might be perceived as promoting competitors, even inadvertently. Moving forward, this incident may prompt clearer guidelines regarding social media usage for league personnel during active events. The balance between personal expression and professional obligations remains a challenging area for sports organizations to navigate.
And go out, allegedly got her run off. I mean, it's ridiculous. I said, really, Cube? Come on, man. I really like the Big Three, but this is just dumb if it's true. Now, in case you're wondering the reach the Big Three has, in 2024, they averaged 455,000 viewers across 10 weeks. And during non-Olympic weeks, we got to remember the Big Three competed against
DeMita's established reputation and substantial following position her well for future opportunities, whether with other networks or through independent content creation. The incident, while professionally disruptive, may ultimately provide greater creative freedom and career flexibility. The sports media landscape continues adapting to social platform integration, with organizations learning to manage the immediate and global reach of modern communications technology. This situation serves as a case study for how quickly professional relationships can shift in the digital age. Recent developments have emerged regarding Rachel DeMita's exit from the Big Three Basketball League, sparking conversations throughout the basketball community. DeMita has established herself as a prominent basketball commentator and stands among the most recognized WNBA content creators, consistently generating substantial viewership numbers and maintaining significant respect within the sports media landscape.
My life, and now I guess I can say I have been fired. But with that, you guys, I'm just going to leave it at that. That's the truth. That is what it is. I feel a responsibility to share that with you guys. I wish the Big Three nothing but the best. And that's it. That's all I've got. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. Click that little subscribe button because we upload new videos every single week. And hopefully the new videos will not include drama about my life. Because it's life, but stuff happens. Anyway, you guys, that's all I got for you. Thank you so much.
The circumstances surrounding her departure have attracted considerable attention across the basketball industry. Various sources indicate that DeMita and the Big Three organization, which operates under Ice Cube's ownership, have concluded their professional relationship. During a recent live stream appearance, DeMita addressed the situation briefly, providing some insight into the developments while confirming her separation from the league. Multiple reports suggest that DeMita's termination occurred following her decision to share Caitlin Clark content on social media platforms while simultaneously fulfilling her professional duties during a Big Three contest. Legion Hoops and Front Office Sports have covered this story extensively, with Front Office Sports providing detailed reporting about the incident. According to Front Office Sports' exclusive coverage, DeMita's dismissal resulted from posting Caitlin Clark highlight footage during the same time frame as a Big Three game where she held working responsibilities. The situation has raised questions about professional boundaries and social media usage during active work assignments.
the Olympics last year, all right? Whereas the WNBA was on that Olympic hiatus so their players could go play, the Big Three kept on going, and the Olympics sucked a ton of air out of the room. And they averaged 512,000 viewers during non-Olympic weeks. And I'm here to tell you right now, the Big Three, there have been times the Big Three basketball league has outdrawn the WNBA on viewership.
The specific incident involved DeMita sharing video content of Clark executing a long-range three-point shot, accompanied by commentary defending Clark against critics questioning her capabilities. This occurred during Clark's return to competition after a 5-game absence, highlighting the timing sensitivity of the social media activity. DeMita brings substantial credentials to the basketball media space, having previously served as an NBA 2K TV host and building an impressive social media presence. Her digital footprint includes 278,000 Twitter followers, 52,000 TikTok followers, 1 million Instagram followers, and 62,000 YouTube subscribers, demonstrating her significant reach within basketball audiences. The situation has prompted broader discussions about creative independence versus corporate employment within the sports media industry. Many content creators face decisions between maintaining complete editorial freedom and accepting corporate partnerships that may impose certain restrictions on their public communications and social media activities.